Welcome back, beautiful spirits, to another episode of the Grief Alchemy Unleash Your Sacred Rage podcast. Thank you all for being here. The name of this episode is called The Reason Behind My Why, Retracing My Steps. My oldest daughter once told me, "Mom, sometimes you have to get lost in order to find your way back home." At the beginning of this month in July, I sat at a campsite with my two younger girls, carving a piece of wood with my knife to leave an offering for the sacred ancestors of that land. I asked Great Spirit what message I needed to hear the most right now. What message might I give to someone else who finds this piece of wood in the forest? The download I received was this: you are not lost. You are just retracing your steps. You have everything that you need to begin, for you are always exactly at the right place at the right time. I was 18 years old, a freshman in college majoring in psychology at the University of New Mexico, living with a roommate, my maternal grandmother, aka my granny poo. I don't care what y'all say. Anyways, in an apartment complex in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we were lucky to be living on the second floor because the cockroach infestation wasn't as bad. We sat out on the balcony late at night, passing the pacololo back and forth like we did many nights, and having one of our deep heart-to-heart conversations that I always cherished having with her. Her and my uncle were always the people I would go to seek solace when troubles arose. I was telling her about my coursework and the possibility of double majoring, but being really stressed out between work and school, being behind on schoolwork and feeling like something was missing. I wanted to do the thing that made sense, right? Majoring in psychology, double majoring, becoming a licensed counselor, social worker, psychologist. It was bound to bring me the most success. Both my parents had been psychology majors, even though they hadn't finished the coursework. I was naturally in tune with others. I wanted to make my folks proud, be someone successful, but something was still missing. I'll never forget my grandmother looking at me with a quiet knowing and eyes that could pierce through my soul, for she always knew what was on my mind. Couldn't hide a damn thing from her. Still can't. We could talk to each other without saying a word, and she asked, "What do you truly want, Sierra? What's in your heart?" I looked at her, fighting the logical reasoning and perfectionism in my head, and said, "English and music. I love to write. It comes naturally to me, and music makes me feel absolutely free. I just want something that I can absolutely lose myself in." "English and music," she whispered with a smile as she gazed at me, pausing for a brief moment. I looked at her with eyes seeking her approval, and I said, "Yes." "Then do it, Sierra. Who cares what anyone says? Do what makes you happy. Fuck 'em." She proceeds to put her middle finger up, a notorious gesture given by that side of the family, so you'll hear about it quite a bit. I remember being a sophomore in high school. I was lucky enough to go to a charter school for media arts because there was no way I was going to follow the bullies from middle school to one of the public high schools. It was the best decision that my parents ever let me make because that's where my natural gifts were nourished and where I found the long-lost love of my life: audio. A quick shout out to all of my teachers from high school that may be tuning in and listening to this. My editing skills may be a bit rusty, and I apologize as the past 15 years took a toll on me and I have to retrain my brain. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you all for saving my life so many times, for being there for me during some of the darkest moments. It took a long time to find my way out of the darkness and find my way back home to this part of myself that fell asleep. Thank you for caring for me, helping to raise me into the woman I am today, and for believing in the person I would eventually become once I had the courage. I remember the first radio piece that I ever did. It was my sophomore year of high school. I decided to do a piece on heroin awareness and interview my uncle. He spoke of his life growing up, the trials and tribulations of our family, his relationships, and his struggles with addiction, how he overcame it, and his overall message to the audience. I wanted to make him proud and show him how much his sobriety meant to me, and help make an impact for others. I worked on editing that project before school, during lunch, and after school. Somehow it just came naturally to me. It didn't feel like work. I felt this internal warmth in my core. It was passion. I will never forget being so excited to show him the finished product. I was currently living with him and my grandmother at the time. The school was small, and I eagerly led him up the steps and into the audio production classroom and watched him closely as he put the headphones on and listened. He was a tough man. A cancer nonetheless, hard on the outside, but a completely grumpy marshmallow on the inside. I had hardly seen that man cry until that moment. He loved it, said that I have a gift. I was lucky enough to have that piece aired on the AM radio and won an award for Outstanding Audio Producer. Yet somehow, here I sit, 14 years later, finally accepting that fully. My passion for writing, storytelling, and sound. Sound that makes you feel something, moves you, causes an emotional shift, something inspiring and impactful. So with that, beautiful spirits, in a world that tries to throw projections of what your life should look like and what is considered the more logical or practical or safe fucking thing to do, take some time today to retrace your steps. I guarantee that the younger version of you always knew what they truly wanted to do in life before others tried to talk you out of it and you allowed yourself to stay small. Live your truth. You only get one life. I searched everywhere for that radio piece because I forgot to download it and save it at the end of senior year, and they eventually took it off the internet. But I can still remember the bits and pieces from my uncle's interview. That last bit that he said, his message to the audience. So you either live or you die. And I chose to live. And sometimes it takes embracing death and walking through darkness to truly hold our light, to truly be able to value life. Let all this shit go and truly live. It's your choice. These next pieces of writing are the reasons behind my why. I've spent so many years dipping my toes and posting my writings on social media platforms without fully embracing my passion and purpose. But here, you will see what drives me, what motivates me to continue to be an advocate for humanity and world peace, to walk the spiritual path that I do, to be a protector of the innocent and our youth, why I keep fighting for my business, my legacy, in a world that tells me I should just do what's practical and safe. It is these writings where you see the reason behind my passion project of Grief Alchemy. Thank you all for your love and support and for walking this journey with me if you've made it this far.